Let's talk about the tough reality, a situation nobody truly desires. Of leaving a country you've called home, a place filled with memories. For many it's not a choice but a necessity, a difficult path they're forced to take. Maybe an expired visa, a denied asylum claim, or just getting lost in the maze of US immigration, a complex and confusing system. When you're told to leave, you face a harsh decision: wait for forced removal, or try to leave on your own terms, making the best of a bad situation. This is where self-deportation and voluntary departure come in, two very different paths, often confused but with vastly different consequences. One is like quitting before you're fired, the other is being escorted out. The stakes, your future, your family, your chance to ever return. Understanding the difference isn't just legal jargon, it's life-changing. So let's break it down and understand these critical distinctions. Welcome to Prospect Global, where we explore the stories that matter. If you find our content helpful, please subscribe and join our community. First, let's consider self-deportation, a term that sounds straightforward but carries a heavy weight. It's not a legal process in the traditional sense. There's no paperwork to file, no judge to face, no formal proceedings at all. Instead, it's what happens when circumstances become unbearable. When life becomes so overwhelmingly hard for undocumented immigrants, facing constant challenges and uncertainties, that leaving, returning to their country of origin feels like the only viable option, the only path forward. Policies restrict access to jobs, limiting opportunities for economic stability, housing becomes scarce and unaffordable, and even basic services are often denied, making daily life a constant struggle, nearly impossible to sustain with dignity and hope. People may choose to leave quietly, without fanfare or announcement, without any official record of their departure, disappearing from the system. But here's the catch, the hidden consequence that many don't realize. If you've been in the US unlawfully for a significant period of time, leaving can inadvertently trigger a 3 or even a 10-year ban on legally returning to the United States. You avoid the immediate trauma and stress of formal deportation proceedings, but you might inadvertently lock yourself out of any future legal pathway to return and rebuild your life. It looks like a choice made freely, but it's a decision born out of immense pressure and limited options. The exit itself is often quiet and understated, but the consequences can be loud, echoing through years of separation and uncertainty. Ultimately, it's a lose-lose situation for many undocumented individuals and families. Now let's delve into voluntary departure. What does it really mean? This is a formal legal process specifically designed for individuals who are already entangled in removal proceedings. It's a pathway, an option on the table during a difficult time. Essentially, you're asking an immigration judge for permission to willingly leave the country. You're requesting a set deadline to depart, and importantly, you're responsible for covering all your travel expenses. To qualify for this option, you must demonstrate that you possess good moral character. This is a crucial aspect of the application. You also need to show that you can and will pay for your travel arrangements. And perhaps most significantly, you must willingly give up your right to appeal the judge's decision. If your request is granted, you are given a specific amount of time to arrange your affairs, to settle your business. This allows you to leave the country without the stigma and consequences of a formal deportation order on your record. So what's the big benefit of choosing this path? The primary advantage is that you avoid the negative impact, the black mark, of a formal removal order. A removal order can severely restrict your future travel, potentially barring you from returning to the country for many years. While it's true that voluntary departure doesn't completely erase your period of unlawful stay in the country, it does preserve your future options and keeps immigration doors potentially open for you down the line. Think of it as a plea deal in a criminal case. Not ideal, certainly not the best outcome, but significantly better than the alternative of a formal deportation. It represents a structured and controlled exit from the country, minimizing the long-term damage to your immigration record. It's still a tough situation to face, but it's a less catastrophic outcome than being formally deported. Let's compare these two distinct scenarios. Understanding the nuances between them is crucial. Self-deportation is an unofficial exit, often fueled by pressure and fear. It's a decision made outside the bounds of the legal system. There's no legal process, no judge overseeing the matter, no formal record created. It's just leaving under duress, a response to overwhelming circumstances, often without fully understanding the long-term implications. Voluntary departure, on the other hand, is a formal process approved by a judge and conducted within the legal framework. It comes with strict rules, specific deadlines, and requires meticulous adherence to legal procedures. Both options require you to pay your own way out of the country. However, only voluntary departure allows you to avoid a formal deportation order on your record, which can have significant future consequences. Self-deportation can often trigger long and unexpected bans on re-entry to the country. This can happen without people fully realizing the potential ramifications of their decision. Voluntary departure, if completed properly and according to all legal requirements, keeps a door open, offering a pathway for a potential legal return to the country in the future. Neither option is ideal. They're both unfortunate products of a harsh and often confusing immigration system. But understanding the difference between them can significantly change the course of your life. Immigration law is a complex minefield filled with potential pitfalls. And even one wrong step can lead to lifelong consequences that are difficult to undo. Therefore, it's crucial to stay informed, share what you learn with others, offer support and guidance to help others navigate this incredibly complex reality. Sometimes, understanding your options and the potential outcomes is the only real control you have in these situations, and that knowledge and understanding can make all the difference in the world. Thank you for watching Prospect Global. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing for more stories that matter.